And we have sound. Good morning, everybody. I got my coffee. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. Apparently, there's a few, how should I describe this? There are some people who aren't happy right now. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, PDawg Knight. The music. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Night Live on this beautiful January 15th, 2009. I almost did it, didn't I? It's actually 2020. Hey, everybody. I'm so glad you're rolling in. And yes, I know Monkey's going to stream too at the same time. Don't worry about it. I don't worry about it. Look. You can watch his show later, or you can watch my show later. I am not particular. Monkey is a friend of mine, and he has what you would call, I don't even know what to call it. Look, his schedule is based on how much pain he is in at any given time, or when he can sleep, and his sleep schedule is just screwed up because of his condition. So, you know what? I don't care. This is when I stream because this is when I get home from work. And before I go off and do my other stuff that I do in the afternoon. So you know what? I am not worried about it at all. Enjoy my stream or enjoy his streams. It is what it is. That's why these things record and set up for later. If you want to watch later or if you want to watch now, you can do with either one of us. Let's get into, I was going to get into my title first because, obviously there was the big Democratic debate, the last one before the Iowa caucuses, and really the last one with all just the top tier candidates. In theory, there are 6 remaining top tier candidates. Now, there is a little bit of humor, only because the Democrats, the party of diversity, has 6 white people on stage, unless you count Elizabeth Warren, and yes, she has a scintilla of Western Hemisphere heritage. And when I say a scintilla, I mean, woo. So take this cup of coffee and drop it in the Pacific Ocean. That's what we're talking here. But hey, DNA don't lie, right? But I have nothing to say about that. Anyway, so there's some. I didn't even watch it because at this point I'm very bored with them. But I've watched a few highlights on the internets, and there were some interesting things that happened. Now, yesterday, I was talking about the Democratic shot across the bow against Bernie Sanders. Remember? And because all of a sudden, there's this thing about Elizabeth Warren saying that he was that he said no, a woman couldn't be elected president or couldn't be president, which kicked off my bullshit radar right off the bat as soon as I heard it. And it sounds like one of those things that Elizabeth Warren says that she tends to have to walk back or at least gets fact checked. But it's hard to fact check something that was supposedly said between the two, right? Oh, good point, Tyler F. 5 top candidates and Steyer, who basically bought his way into the debates. But anyway, the bullshit meter went off right away. And then, but then the media kind of runs with this story anyway. And then, now I know James O'Keefe has nothing to do with the mainstream media, but then James O'Keefe comes out with one of Bernie's supporters saying some crazy shit. And look, we showed that video yesterday, and I don't. Okay. Oh, hey, there's my first super chat of the day. There we go. Thank you, Cryptic with the super chat via the Streamlabs link, which is in the description down below. It takes you to my new website, PDawgnight.live. You mean it's Cryptic $5. Thank you. You mean it's so small that it might be an Asian's dick. Wow. So now this is a joke that Cryptic's allowed to say because Cryptic's Asian. So I'm just saying, hi Cryptic, how you doing? I didn't even see you pop in. Oh, you must be lurking, but that's okay. So anyway, but look, so there's suddenly this. Now, so Elizabeth Warren, who's somewhat of an establishment candidate, or at least she started out as an establishment candidate, versus Bernie Sanders, who's clearly not an establishment candidate. And so there's this, it kind of becomes a media narrative. Well, it kind of backfired in the debate last night, and we'll get into that in a minute. But before we do that, I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to say hi to everybody because people are rolling in pretty fast, and I want to make sure I get the people who got here early. So good morning to Necrosaw Collins, a.k.a. Necro, who was first. And with the message of like and subscribe, which I always appreciate. Also, Necro, I believe, Necro already put out the tweet. In fact, Necro tweets my show out on his own. You know what? I appreciate that just as much as I do. And in fact, yours is going in the chat, so you can add to that. Also, good morning, Tyler F. Ophelia, the Happy Red Panda. I'm glad you're back. I haven't seen your picture up there for a while, your avatar, but I know you can pop in and out. Good morning, Okay, this one's a tough one. Advocatus Diaboli. Is that? Oh, the devil's advocate. I get it. Advocatus Diaboli. Okay. RVA Dar, Duck Dog, Grillin' Pirate Pete, Chicago Mike, Check Your Logic, Green Badger Outdoors, Mr. Scott J, with the 87 on the back end. So I have to put a space here. The gayest person on YouTube. Who else is here? Renovatio, good morning. Maniac Man, Cynical Lindsay. I have to thank you because I'll explain in a second. Snugs McLeod, that's a new name too. I love seeing new names on here. And you know why I keep seeing new names? Do you know why I keep seeing new names? Because you guys are so great about sharing this stream out, and it just takes a couple clicks. You hit right down there somewhere, there's a little arrow that says share. You click the share arrow and just share it on social media. Say, just let people know, oh, I'm Richo, my brother from down under. So yeah, but you guys sharing this out really helps. You don't know how much it helps. Or just retweeting it on Twitter. If you have people who follow you on Twitter, they'll see that and maybe they'll get curious someday and jump on in. Also, reminder, the Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please share, like I just said. And also, if you like what we do, hit the like button, hit that little thumbs up, except for Duck Dog, who is allowed to hit the thumbs down. And also, if you want to do super chats or support the show or support what I do here, as I add equipment and I pretty much put most of the stuff that you give me via donations back into the show somehow. Although sometimes it's just paying my internet bill, but that's okay. It works. You can do that through the Streamlabs link in the description down below, or it is also in the chat periodically. You'll see it there. So, groundhogs taste good. It would make sense not to let that meat go to waste. What? Why are we talking about eating groundhogs? Okay, I happen to look down at the chat. Oh, and Seamus Derby is here too. Good morning, sir. And Duck Dog, who wasn't here when I said his name earlier. Okay. Before we get into that, and here's why I'm thanking Cynical Lindsay, by the way. I completely forgot yesterday when Cynical Lindsay asked me a question about, is it your 1 year anniversary of doing the Morning Night Live coming up? And I'm like, you know what? You're probably right. I should probably check that out. And so I went back and I went through all my videos and I found my very first Morning Night Live, because I've been doing videos since 2016, but my Morning Night Live, I really just started roughly a year ago. And lo and behold, I click on the very first Morning Night Live yesterday, January 14th, 2020. I check it out, and Lindsay was right on the money. Yesterday was the 20th, first anniversary of the Morning Night Live, January, because my first show was January 14th, 2019. So, Lindsay, first of all, thank you for reminding me. I'm glad I checked that out. I'm going to have to remember that at the beginning of the year. And also, what we're going to do is on Friday, I'm going to have an anniversary celebration, or the 1 year anniversary. I'm going to invite a whole bunch of people to come on. They may or may not make it on. By the way, Lindsay, did I ever give you... I meant to do this a long time ago. I thought I made you a mod. Did I? There you are. Okay. I meant to make you a mod a long time ago, and I don't know why I hadn't done that. Anyway, you're a mod now, Lindsay. So anyway, yeah. Friday, we're going to have a special 1 year anniversary show, and we'll have a bunch of different guests on here. The ones that show up, and the ones who don't, I'm just going to send out these invites. A bunch of people who have been... influential as far as me actually doing this on a regular basis. So, and since I started last year, this is the 243rd show, because we go Monday through Friday, weekdays, Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. And I haven't missed a show. Even when we went on vacation, even though I couldn't do actual shows while I was on the road, I did post stuff pretty much every day while we were on our California, Portland trip. It wasn't really exciting stuff. Probably the most exciting thing happened is that my car got broken into and all my equipment that I used to use got stolen. So all this stuff, basically, you guys have helped me put back to right. So there you go. Anyway, let's see. And let me check real quick. Has anyone else? PDawg, if you're not selected YouTuber of the year, you should burn down Milwaukee before Bernie's boys do it. Yeah, I might not do that, but the idea is in my head now. Good morning, Chi-Town Jay, who showed up while I've been ranting here. All right, good. Here we go. Now the second thing that I wanted to do before we got completely started is this epic testimony from one of our congressmen. Apparently, there was a hearing yesterday, and let's see. I'm going to look it up here. Here we go. So the House Foreign Relations Committee had a hearing yesterday evaluating the Trump administration's Iran policy on Monday. Oh, this is on Monday, excuse me. Representative Brian Mast allowed the majority of his time to be filled with, well, I'm not going to tell you because we're just going to watch it. And it's going to be weird. It's going to be hard to do because you'll be like, well, why isn't he doing this? But anyway, let's see, it's down here. I am just going to show it to you because I think this is epic. This is epic. I mean, it's amazing. So here we go. You're going to watch. Let me put it on full screen. I got it on full screen. Check this out.
Now I want to ask a question. Some people might call this rhetorical, but I'm not going to ask it as rhetorical. There's a number of my colleagues still remaining here. I am more than willing to yield to any of my colleagues that want to answer this question. If you walk out this hallway and you take a right and another right and another right, you're going to come to several beautiful walls that have the names of our fallen service members from the War on Terror. And I would ask, can any of you provide me one name on that wall that doesn't justify killing Soleimani? I got 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I'll be more than happy to sit here and wait. Somebody provide me with a name on that wall that does not justify his killing.
Well, the gentleman may continue.
I'm continuing, Mr. Chairman. I got 2 minutes remaining. I will sit here and wait for somebody to provide me with a name on that wall that does not justify the killing of Soleimani.
Thank you, Mr. Mass. I think you've made your point. Mr. Phillips.
Mr. Chairman, I have not yielded back my time, and I still have a minute and 45 seconds
You're disrupting the
I will
procedures
not
right now.
yield back my time, Mr. Chairman.
You're disrupting
I
the
have a
procedures,
minute and
Mr.
45
Mass.
seconds remaining, of which I would like to wait for somebody to provide me with a name of somebody on our memorial wall who does
You're
not
out of order, Mr.
justify
Mass.
the killing of Soleimani.
You are out of order.
I will not yield
You
back
are out
my
of
time.
order, Mr. Mass.
I will not
Chair,
yield back
made
my
your
time.
point.
I am
Mr.
not
Chair,
out of order.
Mr.
You are
Chair,
out of
I'll
order,
yield a
Mr.
minute.
Chairman, for reclaiming this time.
Mr. Chair, I'll yield a minute of my time to Mr. Mast.
Well, he's got time.
Thank you. Thank you, my colleague. I appreciate it.
Mr. Phillips doesn't have any. No, because he didn't have.
I love how C-SPAN is panning the crowd. Oh. Can you say awkward?
Mr. Chair, if I might begin.
Yeah,
Thank you for yielding me your time, although I did not yield my time back. I thank you. I will note that there was no response of one name offered that did not justify the killing of Soleimani.
All right, so that
Now I want a question to ask.
Aaron. All right, let's see.
Question. Some people might call this rhetorical, but I'm not going to ask it
Okay,
as
so
rhetorical.
yeah, that that was pretty amazing. Now, so the hearing apparently, the silence was the response to a pointed question Massad posed to a panel of 3 former State Department and national security officials: Richard Haas, PhD, president of the Council on Foreign Relations, a former State Department Director of Policy Planning, Avril Haines, a senior research scholar at Columbia University, former Deputy National Secretary Advisor under President Obama, and former Deputy Director of the CIA, and Stephen J. Hadley, former National Security Advisor under President George W. Bush. Secretary of State Pompeo declined an invitation to testify on President Trump's decision to now, I still get tired of this word assassinate, but anyway, assassinate Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. In his opening statement, Representative Engel argued that until Trump, the United States had been able to stave off a conflict with Iran because it doesn't act like a state sponsor of terrorism. He quote, "Being a world leader means that you don't emulate your adversaries. You use your power judiciously by trying to change behavior while seeking to diffuse conflict and prevent bloodshed." I'm not sure if that happened in Libya, but anyway, that's why the killing of Soleimani was such a shock. Not because he was a good guy, just the opposite. He had the blood of many Americans on his hand, Engel declared. He was a hardened terrorist. Democrats alike know that the world is better off without them. Even though Soleimani had killed or maimed thousands of Americans and planned to kill more, Engel argued that killing the designated terrorist was wrong because it caused an escalation of hostilities and has destabilized the region. And so that's when Mass came up and said, if you walk out this hallway, there's a wall showing people who killed in this war on terror, so to speak. Now, let's remind you, I'm not a big fan of the remaining war on terror at all, but it's not like Soleimani hadn't done anything recently either, or hasn't been responsible for the death of many Americans. So, but there's a kind of an epic, someone said mic drop, absolutely, a mic drop moment, a mic drop moment of silence, and that's pretty amazing. Anyway, all right, so let's talk a little bit about the debate last night. Now, again, I didn't watch this stupid ass debate. But I knew what was coming. I probably should have watched it, but you know what? My wife made just the most awesome creamy wild rice and ham soup, and I was in heaven. Lady Boomer made the best soup last night. Anyway, I don't know why I had to mention that. So we talked about this thing with Elizabeth Warren. Suddenly someone on her staff over the last couple of days said that, Bernie Sanders said something about a woman couldn't be president. Now he's disputing that and whatnot. But as I'm going through this, I'm checking out Twitter last night, and some people were putting up clips of the debate, excuse me. And this clip pops up, and I'm going to where is it here? Check this out. Let's go full screen there. So listen to this question from the debate moderator, and just listen to this.
Country.
So, Senator Sanders.
Listen to the question. Listen to very carefully to the questions the moderator asks.
Country.
So, Senator Sanders, I do want to be clear here. You're saying that you never told Senator Warren that a woman could not win the election.
That is correct.
Senator Warren, what did you think when Senator Sanders told you a woman could not win the election?
I disagreed.
I am just now. Look, if you heard, I'm gonna play it again. If you didn't hear it, listen to the questions carefully again. This is the question that the debate moderator asked.
Country.
So, Senator Sanders, I do want to be clear here. You're saying that you never told Senator Warren that a woman could not win the election.
That is correct.
All right, so you never told Senator Warren that a woman could not win the election. And now, for Senator Warren's question.
Senator Warren, what did you think when Senator Sanders told you a woman could not win the election?
So needless to say, the Bernie brosity, I don't know what else to call them. Let's just say the Bernie Sanders folks were not happy with CNN with that particular question. And apparently this turned into kind of a, it became quite contentious. So here's the deal. So CNN debate, here, hang on, let me go back in here. CNN debate moderator Abby Phillips appeared to side with Elizabeth Warren over campaign rival Bernie Sanders in the ongoing dispute over whether Sanders told Warren that a woman could not be elected president. Sanders was asked early on in Tuesday's debate about CNN's report that he told Warren during a private 2018 meeting that he believed a woman couldn't win the election. He flatly denied ever making the comment. I do want to be clear. So you're saying, all right, so you saw the clip there. That's all the story says. Anyway, so Warren said in a money statement that Sanders didn't. So here's the thing. The problem is nobody believes. Nobody. Yes, they were 1 and 2, Lindsay. I did see that, and I'll tell you what you can see in the chat what I'm answering to cynical Lindsay here. But Phillips, he said when she dismissed the denial and proceeded to state the accusations made in the CNN report as fact when she handed the question over to Warren, which you just saw. Warren said in a Monday statement that Sanders did indeed tell her a woman could not win the presidency. Sanders has called the accusation ludicrous. The real moment earned immediate scorn from reporters such as Tom Bevan of Real Clear Politics, who referred to it as a moderator fail. Moderator fail. Someone here, CNN is just going ahead and declaring Sanders said that, even with the denial and even with no evidence. Now, remember, Elizabeth Warren's had some issues lately. One saying that her kids went to public schools when, in fact, her youngest son went to a very Tony private school. Let's just be honest. Elizabeth Warren's been telling a lot of tall tales, and it all started with her DNA test prior to her DNA test and PAWG Chow. But anyway, and by the way, you know that book we were talking about, the PAWG Chow? She's been talking about that was from 1971, and so she's been telling this tale for a long time, and to say that she's never used it. About the Native American thing, that she's never used it, is just a lie. She put it on her, she's put it on more than one application. Harvard University described her as Harvard's first minority or woman of color on the law school staff. Come on, give me a break. Hi, Reese. Hey, Reese Donald, how you doing? Oh, and Gorilla Pirate Pete. Oh, no, you were here earlier. Okay, I'm getting everybody. Anyway, that CNN is not asking Warren, did Sanders say that? But instead, what did you think when Sanders said that? Right after he had denied it? Oh my gosh. So as Lindsay mentioned in the chat, last night, here, let's find this real quick, because it's still trending. Never Warren is still trending number 2 on Twitter right now. And it also is, CNN is trash trended number 1. It was number 1, number 2, and I think number 3. Let's see, here it is. Oh, here it is. Here's what was trending last night on Twitter. CNN is trash. Never Warren. Warren is a snake. Oh, man. It's getting rough out there in the Democratic primary. My gosh, but here's the thing. As I said yesterday, it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder because Warren hasn't gained a ton of traction. Now, she and Kamala Harris, when they announced their runs for the presidency, they were kind of they were the press darlings. They thought for sure that, you'd either get Warren or you'd get Harris. You'd have a minority woman or a pseudo minority woman running against Trump again in 2020. They'd get their dream rematch. And yet Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden and even Buttigieg now are taking a lot most of the air in the room. And so when I said this yesterday, I thought for sure this story about Warren making this statement about what Bernie Sanders supposedly said to her in 2018, I thought, this looks like just kind of a hack job on the non-establishment candidate, because Warren's still pretty much an establishment candidate. Really the non-established candidate is Bernie Sanders, and some people who've already dropped out. And I'm thinking, man, are they trying to poison the water just to keep Joe Biden at the top? Because they don't think Bernie can win. And in the establishment, and the other part of it is, who in 2016 was the establishment that was trying to keep Bernie out? Well, it was the Democratic National Committee. And we already know from at least, remember the Russians? Remember the Russians supposedly hacked the DNC and got John Podesta's emails, and they got all this information that the DNC was, basically screwing over Bernie, right? Remember, because no one ever talks about what's in those emails, right? They don't talk about what was in the emails that WikiLeaks put out that were actually factual. There was nothing wrong with them. They wanted to talk about, the Russians hacked it. The Russians hacked it. The Russians are interfering in our elections. Well, what did the Russians do, supposedly? Supposedly the Russians hacked the DNC so they could tell us that the DNC was cheating Bernie Sanders over Hillary Clinton. The DNC does not want Bernie Sanders as their nominee. He's not even really a Democrat. Okay, he caucuses with them, but he's technically an independent. He's not part of the Democratic Party. They don't want him. Now, how convenient, before the last debate, now, you got a candidate who's, she's hanging on a thread, because one, her fundraising's dropped off quite a bit, right? But if they could get that little conflict to put some dirty on Sanders, it serves the purpose of the DNC. Who put out this report? CNN. This is CNN. And CNN and the New York Times and the Washington Post, they all kind of coordinate with the DNC. They kind of do the DNC's bidding. So that's, the fact that this backfires on CNN is awesome. The Bernie people are just pissed off. So you get CNN is trash, but it also is backfiring a little bit on, maybe it's kind of backfiring on Warren. I don't know. The people who are saying never Warren and Warren is a snake are the Bernie supporters. The Bernie supporters, they were tweeting up a storm last night. So as you go on Twitter, under the Never Warren hashtag, the body language when Bernie went to shake Liz's hand at the debate last night was crazy. But there's a lot of people not happy about this anti-Warren hashtag. Accounts like these are causing a Never Warren to trend. Report them as spam. They all follow the same script. Easy to find. They're going to blame this on Russian bots. That would be, oh my God, it would be awesome. Oh my God, it'd be so awesome. Unfortunately, to say refresh, I was going to show you Shoe on Head because she's a big time Bernie person. Here's one. Cindy resists. Never Warren. Hashtag Never Warren is so fundamentally selfish. Slamming any Dem candidate and suppressing the anti-Trump vote through divide and conquer is you're cool with irreversibly devastating the poor, the climate, Australia fires, but everywhere good with you. Whatever the hell. I don't even know what the hell she's trying to say there. Oh, if you don't like it, go be a Republican. She stabbed us in the back in 2016. We aren't forgiving her again. Never Warren. Yeah, they don't. The Bernie bros are not happy with Elizabeth Warren. Where the hell did Shoe and Head's thing go here, though? That's the one I wanted to show her little. Well, it's gone. Whatever. Anyway, that feeling a couple weeks before an election when you suddenly remember that someone is misogynistic after decades of friendship and support. Never Warren. Lying Liz. Warren is a snake. Yeah, Bernie has his own issues too, but whatever. Hello, damn it, Chadwick Dupree, my bud. Yeah, so this is this is kind of hilarious. Now, but some people aren't happy with this hashtag. Never Warren. Y'all need to grow up. I've never felt the burn, but I'll vote for him if necessary. This is about getting Trump the fuck out of here. Period. Anyway, so Daily Caller calls this media malpractice. Let me get it back on the screen here. CNN faces backlash for one-sided questioning on Sanders versus Warren. CNN faces faced backlash Tuesday night after debate moderator Abby Phillips took Senator Elizabeth Warren's side and stated as fact that Senator Bernie Sanders told Warren in a private conversation that a woman couldn't win the presidential election. Warren has accused Sanders of telling her in a private 2018 dinner that a woman candidate couldn't win the 2020 race. But Sanders has adamantly denied her accusation. Phillip took Warren's side in her questioning of the two senators on Tuesday night's Democratic debate. Now, the other thing about this, so if Bernie Sanders said this in 2018 in a private dinner, I am just monumentally confused. You would think that this would have come out a little bit earlier. Don't you not just before the Iowa caucuses when Elizabeth Warren's having trouble raising funds. Why didn't this come out earlier? Now, you also remember in 2016, Hillary Clinton and her camp tried to use the misogynist angle on Bernie Sanders. And the campaign, Bernie Sanders won't get out of the race because he's a misogynist. He's anti-woman, which is, it's ridiculous. Bernie was saying in the 80s, yeah, we should have a woman president. He's been saying that for whatever. And you know what? Look, if he came out and said that now, that we need to have a woman president, I would be asking him, well, why didn't you step aside, Bernie? But in any case, this is, it's politics, but it makes you wonder. Are the Democrats going to be able to unify behind any of these candidates? Are the Bernie people really going to be able to vote for Joe Biden if Biden's the nominee? And the independents are not going to vote for Bernie Sanders. I'm just saying. We talked about a little bit how he would have to double the entire budget of the United States for all the shit he wants to do. And nobody wants that. No, nobody who votes wants that. Because you don't want top-down government control on everything you do. You don't want top-down government control on your healthcare. You don't want top-down government control on colleges. The idea that you're gonna give free college to people, but when you don't even have the high school dropout rate in some places is 50-60%. So you're only giving free college to privileged people. The people who can't afford college right now generally get financial aid. Okay? The people, if they are really trying to get into college, they're getting financial aid now. We're already finding ways to do that. Then schools are finding ways to do that. And there's so many scholarships and all this other stuff that people can get when they have a financial need. That's what the whole FAFSA thing's about. They get grants and they get aid and they get scholarships based on financial need. So people who really want to go to college are able to. Now, there are a lot of people who take out loans because they aren't eligible for the financial aid. But that's, yes, there's a lot more loans because, government took over the loan business. And so when government took over the loan business, they're like, well, we're just going to give loans to everybody for whatever reason, whatever major you take. And you can, I always laugh at what was the feminist dance theory? That was the one that I think, who came up with that one? Christina Hoff Sommers. That was always stuck in my head. If you major in feminist dance theory or, dance therapy, which is a very limited field and you may not be able to find a job in that field, and you end up working at Starbucks and you went to, you go to a school like, Stanford, it's $60,000, $70,000 a year tuition, room and board for out of state. If you go there for feminist dance theory and you thought that taking out loans to do that made sense, did you look to see what kind of a job you can get with a degree in that? Okay, it's not just any degree that, now let's say you're a you're a top, math student that's in computer engineering, and you know you're going to make your first job out of school is going to be between $60,000 and $100,000 a year. It might make sense to take out some student loans to do that because you're making that kind of money right off the bat. I know from experience in my household. Although my kid had a full scholarship anyway, he was smart. But anyway. But you know what? If you're going there and I coach basketball, and there was a kid that he's a talented basketball player, but he just wasn't quite good enough to be a scholarship athlete. But he's good enough to play in Division III, which, by the way, don't ever turn your nose down to Division III basketball. It's highly competitive basketball. It's not. There's not some kid who's just gonna. Oh, are we buffering? Oh, God, here we go. Is this... Oh, okay, it looks like it's working okay. My point is, it broke my heart. This one kid who said, okay, I'm going to go to this little private college that's Division III. Now, it could be an idea. It could be that he got grants or whatnot. But he says, I'm going to major in African American studies. And I thought, really? Now, is this just so you can say that you played college basketball? But you're gonna major in African American studies. What are you gonna do when you get a degree in African American studies? Because mostly, most people who are, unless you have a PhD where you can teach that. Or if you can work in some kind of a museum, what's that degree going to do for you? Again, I always say, if you're, my favorite saying for those of you who are new here, if you have a kid who's going to major in something that ends in the word studies, feminist studies, race studies, blah, blah, studies, if you're going to major in a major that ends in the word studies, you better start studying menus too. Because you're probably going to end up working at Starbucks or TGI Fridays or Chili's or, whatever. Because those majors are really hard to get a job in. Now, there are people who will hire you because you finished your college degree and whatnot. And because, part of it, but it's not like it used to be. It used to be, yeah, you could probably get a degree in anything and sometimes just get the degree and get the job. The other part right now is there's tons of jobs, but rather than going and majoring something that isn't focused on what you're going to do when you get out, go do an electrician apprenticeship. You'll be making more money than most people with college degrees, or a plumbing apprenticeship, Go to a trade school for a year and learn a trade, because the trades are now, because everyone's telling these kids, oh, you have to go to college. You have to go get a degree at college. Well, now the trades are the ones where there's not enough people. And those jobs are paying more now. So it doesn't really mean anything. If you go get a degree, even sometimes, like even a degree in, I don't know, Asian bisexual history. If your degree is in Asian bisexual history, I hope you've already thought about where you're going to get that job when you're done. Because there's not a whole lot of calls. We need you to have a degree in Asian bisexual history. You know what I mean? Kessler, how you doing? I see that you came in while I was... you have audio and no video. What? Is my video not working? Is something... Can y'all see me? I'm not sure. Kessler, how you doing? Also, I see that... MC, Hammer Time, I see you here. And also, Patrice Ripley, how you doing? So anyway, yeah. But back to back to CNN. Did I just go on a rant? Did I just go on a tangent? A full-on tangent? Let's see. A gender studies degree is not equal in value to society as that of an engineer or medical degree. No taxpayers should be made to pay for education which does not benefit the greater needs of society. You know what? That's the other thing about this idea that we're gonna give you free college. Well, you know how when you have like government health care, for example, and the government can now kind of make, now granted, I know that insurance companies do this too, so you don't have to yell at me for those people who enjoy their government health care wherever you live. But when you have government health care, you kind of get restricted about what the government does. So take the VA, for example, which they finally kind of fixed, because now the VA, veterans can get their health care from anywhere here now. They kind of changed that. But, you know, you kind of have to have their permission to get certain things done. And, you know, they deny certain procedures because of you're too old or you're too this or too that occasionally, right? Well, now think about that. Oh, we're going to give you free college, but we need to tell you that we're not going to allow you to major in this particular major because it does not have enough value to society, right? Right? So, yeah. Anything the government control, anything the government can give you, the government can take away. And I guess now I was kind of looking a little bit on Sanders' plan on this free college, and he's saying that all public universities should be free or paid for, whatever. Well, that's interesting. Because not even all the public universities cost the same, right? I mean, you know, there's junior colleges, which I have, you know what? I don't have any problem if the local government says, you know what, we're going to make it so that these junior colleges will be tuition free, and the local people all decide that that's okay. But on a national scale, you know, there's a big difference between how much it costs to go in-state tuition, say at the University of Iowa, or let's not take Iowa. Take Northern Iowa. Okay, Northern Iowa is less expensive than the University of Iowa. So the University of Northern Iowa, right? It's a state school in Iowa. Versus the cost to go to Cal Berkeley. They're very different costs. Now, should that kid in Iowa be able to get his tuition paid at Cal Berkeley just because now Bernie Sanders wants to give everybody free college? Because they're both public universities, right? But they're not going to, apparently, it's not going to include private universities. Okay, so I don't know. It's weird. I just don't get it. Free healthcare is a scam. Zero student loans, good for you. That's awesome. Microsoft Collins. You know, I'm still on the tangent because I got to remind you. We've talked about the University of Chicago here before too. The University of Chicago was one of the schools that recruited my son to play basketball. And the one thing that we were impressed with by the University of Chicago, when you get your FAFSA package. Now, first of all, it's a highly competitive school to get into. It's a very selective, super selective school, academics wise. But what they do is they use their endowment, which I don't know. I always wonder what these schools are doing. They have these huge endowments, but what are they doing with them? Well, the University of Chicago doesn't believe that their students should leave their school with debt. So what they do at the University of Chicago, and I wish if more schools did this is fine. If the school decides to do this is great. What they do is you fill out the FAFSA form, the form that you fill out that determines what kind of possible grants or aid or whatever you're going to get from the state and federal government. And then they say, okay, so this rest of this burden is on you. Here's how much you're eligible to take out in loans, and here's how much should come out of pocket. Well, what the University of Chicago does, they'll take that section of what you're eligible to take out in loans, because most people take out mostly loans to pay for their college. They use their endowment and they give you an inter-university grant from their endowment, because they have a $3 or $5 billion endowment, something like that. And so their students don't have student loans when they leave. They have the FAFSA, the government aid they get, state aid they get, and then whatever would be loans, the University of Chicago gives them a grant from the school, and then the out-of-pocket remains the same. So I'm curious as to how many other universities do that. I don't think there's a whole lot. I mean, when we were looking at schools for both my kids, we didn't see that anywhere except for the University of Chicago. It's the first school that ever told us they did that. So, that's interesting. I think more schools, I mean, think about some of these huge state schools with, powerhouse athletic programs and all this stuff. A lot of those schools have enormous endowments. And I think more schools could do that. I don't think you need to have free college a la Bernie Sanders taking money from every. Think about this too, okay? I know I'm still on this tangent, but think about this. So you're gonna give free college via taxpayer money to everyone who wants it, okay? Now, does everybody go to college? Who usually goes to college? Is it often the kids who are already advantaged for the most part? Because usually it's the upper class kids who go to college, the kids who finish school, the kids who are already somewhat privileged, the kids who already worked hard to get there, right? But who's going to pay for those kids to go to college? Oh, all the taxpayers are going to pay for these privileged kids who are going to be able to go to college? Really? Is that how that? So when I retired in 10, 12 years or whatever that is, I got to pay more taxes to pay for someone else's kid to go to college? I'm already paying for their K through 12, right? My kids are done. We found a way to get our kids through college, and it's paid for. Okay? We took that responsibility because our kids were able to do that. But what if my kids didn't go to college? What if my kids, let's say my son, for example, instead of going to college, let's say, you know what? He used to work a landscaping job in the summers during high school. Okay? And he really liked that landscaping job, so he worked for the landscaping guy, kept working for him, and got really good at doing some of the stuff that they do there, and said, you know what? I want to do this. I like what I'm doing. I think this would make a great job, be a great job for me. I get great exercise. I'm outside in the winter or summer doing landscaping and whatnot. Let's say he did that. Never went to college. But you're going to tax him to pay for some other kid's college? Really? Something you don't necessarily need in life? Now, healthcare? Yeah, could be. At some point, everyone needs healthcare. I almost get that, although I don't believe healthcare is a right. I think healthcare is a personal responsibility that you manage your life to get there. And the people who can't, yes, we can help those people. But it's not a right. We do it locally. If in my local state or municipality or whatever that we decide as a local government that we're going to help out people who, are in emergency situations and whatnot, yeah, we should. I think it's fine. We can do that, and we can decide to do that. To have some national top-down from Washington healthcare system that is going to determine how you get healthcare with 14 layers of middlemen, middle women, middle people, middle with an M. No, but yes, but healthcare affects everybody. College doesn't affect everybody, and it shouldn't affect everybody. Not everyone's equipped to go to college. Not everyone needs to go to college. Not everyone wants to go to college, and not everyone is required to go to college. It's an option for your life, and if you want to go to college, you have a responsibility to find a way to do it. And maybe your family can plan on that, or whatever you got to do it. Or we have ways to get aid that's already probably too easy to get anyway. But, really? You're going to make the guy who was a plumber's apprentice, you're going to make him pay for some other kid's college? You're going to make someone who works part-time at the gas station to pay for some other kid's college? Get that fuck out of here. All right. Should I go back to, well, I'm almost out of time to go back to what we were talking to. By the way, I just want to hit this again because I want to thank Cryptic, and I like hearing this sound. Okay, that was from before. That was Cryptic. I just like hearing that sound. You could make that sound happen too, you know. Anyway, all right, let's move on. Let's skip. I was gonna do more CNN stuff, but I think you got the gist of that. I got a couple more, then we're gonna get to Twitter trends because it's that time. Apparently. Oh, here's the. Well, while we're on CNN sucks, let's do one more CNN story, but this is a little different. Apparently, Lawrence O'Donnell from MSNBC. MSC Lawrence O'Donnell accuses CNN of bringing on liars and supporting Trump. The headline alone makes me laugh. Okay, yes, CNN, the all Trump all the time channel, is supporting President Trump with everything they do. MS Nobody Cares News host Lawrence O'Donnell accused CNN of bringing on people who back President Donald Trump in a podcast Sunday, adding that his network won't bring on liars. Oh my God. I should do a video segment tomorrow on, or maybe we can make FTG Thursday all video segments. Let me see if I can put that together. Former Democratic Senator Al Franken spoke with O'Donnell on the Al Franken podcast and said CNN plays it down the middle, except we hate Trump. O'Donnell disagreed, replying that 1/3 of the people on their payroll love Trump. Really? So you're guaranteed on any hour of CNN to minimum 1/3 of the programming will be supportive of Trump. Someone on their payroll saying, "Here's why Trump is right," O'Donnell said. Well, are you saying Trump is always wrong about everything? And you're a news guy, and I don't know what the hell you're saying there. The host of The Last Word continued on to claim that Trump kind of wants you to watch CNN instead of MSNBC. Because he knows on MSNBC there will be no one defending him. Wow. So what is MSNBC? Does anyone know? Is MSNBC a news channel? So what if Trump does something right that you like? No one will ever defend the things he does right either? Because you gotta there is at some point where you gotta realize it's MSNBC, Miss Nobody Cares. You gotta realize that he does a lot that's right. In fact, I agree with him more than I disagree with him. He does nothing right. Because he knows on MSNBC there will be no one defending him, O'Donnell said, because we don't bring on liars. I don't bring on a liar. I won't do that. Oh, so you won't even bring in someone who you disagree with. There's a name for that. Echo, 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 echo chamber. Hi, Green Thunder Mighty. Yeah, really. Frank then asked O'Donnell if defending Trump means you have to lie. O'Donnell said, absolutely you do, because that's the only way to defend a liar. He continued to bash CNN, saying that the network has people on the payroll who they pay to tell their lies to the audience. Really? Citation needed. How else do you defend a liar? A pathological liar who lies about everything? You have to lie, O'Donnell said. So CNN has people on the payroll who they pay to tell their lies to the CNN audience in the middle of a CNN hour for a number of minutes. And so Trump knows that if you watch CNN, at least you'll hear someone lying in my favor. CNN did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Daily Caller. Oh, hey, hello, CNN, this is the Daily Caller. Lawrence O'Donnell says you lie about everything. Everything, yeah, everything. He said everything. No, everything. No? You don't want to make a comment? Oh, okay, well, we'll try again later, thanks. Let's see, real quick, just a news note here. Nancy Pelosi has announced that the House will likely vote on Wednesday, which is today, to send the articles of impeachment to the Senate. You know what's weird about this? I think I mentioned this yesterday. Well, here, let me read the article first. Politico reported Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, declared the House will vote on a resolution to transmit the articles of impeachment to the Senate. Pelosi told the Democrats her decision during the private caucus meeting on Tuesday. She did not say which Democrats will act as impeachment managers during the impeachment trial. Pelosi held on to the articles of impeachment after the House voted on them in December. She wanted to know all the details of the trial before she gave them to the Senate, which she has no say in. Shut the f up, Nancy Pelosi. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell held his ground as he said over and over that Pelosi cannot dictate what happens in the Senate. That is a fact. Thank you, Necrosaw Collins. That is exactly my question. Why are they voting? It's nobody's asking this question. I'm sorry, I didn't put it on the screen. Here, you can see Nancy Pelosi for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. That's enough. Why are they voting? They already voted on the articles of impeachment. This is a vote with zero purpose. You don't vote to send them. You either vote to impeach the president or you don't. If you vote to impeach the president, that should automatically go over to the Senate. It's not like, if let's say they vote on a new bill to create 17 new interstates in the middle of Montana. The Congress does that. After they approve that bill, do they have to vote to send that to the Senate? Or do they just send it to the Senate so the Senate can decide if they're also going to vote on that bill? This is just some bullshit grandstanding, trying to make it like, well, I didn't know if we had to send the articles of impeachment to the Senate. We voted on to approve the articles of impeachment, but then we have to vote to make sure that we are allowed to send it to the Senate, because we don't know if you're supposed to send the articles of impeachment to the Senate without a vote. Bullshit. I blame Schoolhouse Rock. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill, just waiting for the House of Representatives to vote if I should go. They want to send it, but they really don't know if they should send the bill to them. Oh, I hope and pray that they will. But today I am still on the counter because they haven't sent me over like a regular bill. Dumbasses. Holy shit. So anyway, they're going to vote on whether or not they're going to send the articles of impeachment over because Nancy Pelosi said they're not sure if they're supposed to send them over. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, what else? Biden open section. Okay, no. Oh, did you hear that Barack and Michelle Obama were nominated for an Oscar? Of course they were. Yeah, they're a little production company. They're the producers of some little documentary that really didn't get much critical acclaim, but boy, it's nominated for an Oscar because, you got to get a Peace Prize and you got to get a Grammy. And now, since you have a Peace Prize and a Grammy, now you get an Oscar, okay? Let's get into Twitter trends for the day. How about that? By the way, thank you to RVA Dar, Tyler F., Arthur for president of the internet, Arthur the Hat. I'm not Arthur the Hat. Are you here? What handle do you use on YouTube? I'm curious. And Necrosol Collins for tweeting out the show this morning. I already mentioned Necrosol. Thank you again for those of you who share the stream. Please share the stream on social media every day. You're here. Please do that. And also, if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do that. If you like what I do, hey, let me know, man. Let me know. I gotta know if you really love me. I'd say a prayer, but I'm too shy. Anyway, a little Whitney Houston there. Oh, we'll be talking about Whitney Houston in a minute. All right, let's check out the Twitter trends for the day. See what people are going to be talking about for the rest of the day. What are they talking about now? What are you going to see videos about tomorrow? And what's going to be in your headlines as we move on? Okay, apparently... So the top thing today, this thing, I meant to talk about this today. Maybe we'll get to this tomorrow. Documents appear to show that former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, was being monitored. House Democrats released documents they obtained from Lev Parnas, a close associate of President Trump's personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, which appear to show that Yovanovitch's movements were being monitored. Yes, there's a whole bunch of news about, so apparently... between this and the Russians supposedly hacked Burisma, some of this shit is so predictable. But apparently the House Democrats released documents that show, provided by Giuliani's associate Lev Parnas, including a letter where Giuliani sought private meeting with the Ukrainian president and records that appear to show that former Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch was being monitored. Now, here's the thing. So, see, the Democrats don't have anything in their current impeachment articles that they know that shit's going nowhere because they didn't have the evidence. Here's what they're doing. So now they're leaking out a bunch of this information and spinning it in different ways. Now, let's just say something on the record for me. I don't know exactly what these things are, but it's funny how they all end up being leaked out through the New York Times and the Washington Post. Extremely Democrat-friendly publications, okay? So I'm going to get into this a little deeper and figure this out before I talk about it more, but it's very interesting. Now here's Hyde for Congress. A Republican congressional candidate in Connecticut denied that he tracked Yovanovitch's movements in Kyiv. How long can little Adam Bullshift go? I was never in Kyiv. For them to take some text my buddy and I wrote back to some dweeb we were playing with that we met a few times while we had a few drinks is definitely laughable. Schiff is a desperate turd playing with this Lev guy. Oh, shots fired. Yeah, they're saying that this Hyde guy was one of the people tracking Yovanovitch. He's not happy. Statement from Yovanovitch's lawyer just read on MSNBC. Needless to say, the notion that American citizens and others were monitoring Ambassador Yovanovitch's movements for unknown purposes is disturbing. We trust the appropriate authorities will conduct investigation. Wow, that's rich. Ask George Papadopoulos or Carter Page how they feel about that. Oh, these people are shameless. Look, Trump replaced Yovanovitch because that's his prerogative. Now, there may be more involved in that. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. But I got a feeling that this is just Adam Schiff trying to get more things included in this Senate impeachment trial that they already had, they all already knew about, but now they're trying to embarrass people because I'm good. Okay, I got a 5-day rule right now starting today, 3 to 5 day rule, because I don't even know what to make of this crap. I'll find out after I roll. Oh, hello. Adolf Oliver Nipple, thank you for the $2.23 super chat with the message. Some people need to go back to civics class. Yes, they do. Thank you, Adolf Oliver Nipple. That's a very interesting first name. Do I need to be worried about you? You got some special flags in your basement? You got some hand raising skills? Adolf. Adolf Oliver Nipples, yes. But you keep doing that $2.23, and I could have sworn I made a special. What was that dollar amount? You said $3.57 and $5.56. Well, maybe I need to make a $2.23 one, a special alert for that too. By the way, if you do super chats, on the new page, all the special donation messages or alerts, whatever that pop up on the screen, those are all listed under the, if you click the Streamlabs link to the super chats, those are all listed there too, so you don't have to necessarily look at them in the description down below. But thank you, Adolf Oliver Nipples. All right, let's move on to the rest of the Twitter trends. Oh my gosh, Never Warren is now trending number 1. It was number 2 all night. This one's not going away. Apparently, Elizabeth Warren pissed off the wrong Bernie bros. $7.62. I think if you need a $7.62 do I have a $7.62 one? I think I do. No, $7.49 I have, but I can, if you want me to add a $7.62, I will add it if you're going to use it. Okay? Tell me the favorite dollar amount you want to put. I'll make a special alert just for you. And as long as you're using it, it'll keep it up there. All right. 308 and 762 also. I can change one of them too. For now, use 749. Okay, moving on. I got to get through the Twitter trend so I can get to my my other place of business here. All right, so number 1 trending is Never Warren. People are still very unhappy with her. Top of it. Let's see. Oh, Comfortably Smugs thinks this is funny. Okay, this is a thread. Mehdi Hassan. Yep. Let's be clear. If you're tweeting in support of this ludicrous Never Warren hashtag, you're not only dumb, but you're also telling the world that you're okay with kids in cages and bans on Muslims. Arg. Some of the comments and the replies to this tweet above are so dumb. 1. Warren doesn't have the same policies as Clinton, let alone Trump. 2, yeah, you can think Warren lied about Bernie or was mean to Bernie without concluding, quote, Never Warren, end quote. Grow the fuck up. Well, Mehdi's a little salty about this Never Warren thing. This whole kid in the cages thing, you can fuck off with that too. Give me a break. Look, the kids, the kids in cages thing. Do you think it's because it's to punish the kids, or and they're not in cages? That whole kids in cages. It sounds really bad because it's a talking point. Okay. And yes, there have been a couple sick kids who have died who came over here sick. That's terrible. But it's not because of something we did. The kids being held in separate facilities than the prisons or the holding facilities with adults is for the protection of those children. And they have been getting them back to their parents as soon as they can. But you know what? You're not going to put children in the same holding facilities with other adults. Okay. Now I think they were building some facilities where they could hold families together. But you know what? First of all, no one told you to walk your kids over the border illegally. Okay. It's a bad situation. But the idea that you're going to kids in cages, most of the picture and most of the pictures of the kids in cages were from back in the Obama administration, okay? None of you gave a shit about that then. You didn't give a two shits whether or not Obama was deporting more people than any president in history. None of you cared, okay? Now, let's come up with a solution. How about we do that? But you know what? We have been coming up with solutions because fewer people are crossing the border illegally, and Mexico is accepting asylum requests from a lot of these people who are actually trying to get asylum, which makes more sense. Them settling in Mexico where common language, maybe not common culture, because there's different cultures in the different countries south of us. But at least there's a common language. And, fuck it. I'm not talking about this anymore. We're talking about Never Warren. What else is on Never Warren? I swear, half the tweets I'm seeing using the hashtag are either people accusing bots of getting it trending or just generally discussing the situation, many of them pro-Warren. Hashtag trending doesn't mean the sentiment itself is trending. That's true, because a lot of people are up here bitching about the hashtag itself. But it's certainly not bots. You know what? People are actually talking about, it's so funny. It's always bots. You know what? Next thing you know, when Warren doesn't get the nomination, she's going to blame the Russians. It's Russian bots why it's Russian bots why a woman can't be elected president. Yeah, that's it. Haha, after the debate, Bernie fans get Warren is a snake, Never Warren, and CNN is trash setting. Yeah, this is the Bernie people. In fact, Caitlin Johnston, she's a journalist, kind of an independent journalist, who's very progressive, but she's a great writer, though. I mean, I don't agree with about half of what she writes, but I do like her reporting. She's a great reporter, so you don't have to like everything that someone writes if they're very good at what they do, and she is very good at what she does. Top 3 U.S. trends right now: CNN is trash, Never Warren, Warren is a snake, very good. The very here's Shu. I wanted to show Shu's little statement here. This is kind of funny. We'll put her on the screen here.
I'm so disappointed in your endorsement of Bernie Sanders for president. Elizabeth Warren is the better choice. I'm allergic to bullshit! I don't know why you would pick RC soda when, like, Coke is right there. I don't understand. Whatever. I'm so disappointed.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, she's high on Bernie. Good for her. I'm not high on Bernie. Yesterday it was refund Warren trending. Today it's Never Warren. The DNC has a Bernie problem. LOL. Yeah, the Bernie people are really, 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 let's just say passionate. El Cadillo. Hello, El Cadillo. Welcome to the show. I've never seen you here, and I'm glad you're here. Can we talk about the Hollywood bots? I call them Hollybots. Anyone with a blue check mark. Yeah, how about that? Yeah, there you go. All right, trending number 2, Gallant or Gerald Gallant, Golden Knights Fire head coach Gerald Gall. Is that Golden Knights? Is that the Las Vegas team? I don't even know who the frickin' the Golden Knights are. Is that I don't know. Or is it, who are the gold? Where that's got to be a new hockey team. If you know where the Golden Knights are from, let me know. I have no idea. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that might be the Vegas team. Anyway, number 3, Wednesday Wisdom. It's also trending in politics. Baseball by B Smile. Don't look back. Something might be gaining on you. Baseball legend Satchel Paige said that. Satchel Paige's legendary baseball player, played in the old Negro leagues, and then at the end of his career, he played Major League Baseball. Was a dominant pitcher. I think he played into his late 50s. I mean, he was something else. But anyway, don't look back. Something might be gaining on you. That's interesting, especially if you're running from a bear. But that's actually good advice. The National Library of Scotland says, "This is your Scottish Library's bookish weather update. Ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Try again, fail better." Okay, all right, there you go. That's some good Wednesday wisdom. I'm going to leave it at that. Moving on, number 4 trending right now, Aaron Hernandez. Apparently Netflix is doing a docuseries on the former NFL player who had some major problems and then committed suicide. Let's see. Netflix Killer Inside, the mind of Aaron Hernandez, explores Hernandez's past and how he went from celebrated NFL player to a convicted killer. Yeah, he murdered somebody and then ended up in prison, and then he ended up committing suicide. So that should be interesting. Ninja Skin, I'm assuming that has something to do with gaming. Yeah, something in Fortnite. Oh, Ninja just became the first ever content creator in history to get a Fortnite skin. Okay, I'm excited. If you're into gaming, that's probably cool to you. There you go. All right, Angel Jenny Day. Oh my God, it says K-pop. Skip, but I will click the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2020. There's a whole list of people being inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. One of them would be the Notorious B.I.G. Good for him. He'll be inducted. Whitney Houston. Let's see. 9 Inch Nails, Depeche Mode, Whitney Houston, the Notorious B.I.G., T-Rex, and the Doobie Brothers. Oh, man, the Doobie Brothers aren't already in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's shocking. There you go. Cool. I'm surprised 9 Inch Nails, are they still... I didn't know they had 25 years of career. But, yeah, Depeche Mode, Whitney Houston, Notorious B.I.G., T-Rex, and the Doobie Brothers are all going to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Good for them. Oh, Irving Azoff. I think he's a producer. And John Landau. I don't know who John Landau is. Somebody might hear. So if you know who that is. Oh, let's talk about the biggest snubs and surprises, though. 2020 Rock inductees' biggest. Let's see. Okay, if I could find the damn article. Jeez. Vulture. Let's see. Pat Benatar. Oh, I thought she was already in too. Pat Benatar is nowhere to be found. The fan vote's officially meaningless. Dave Matthews Band's not this time. Let's see. Kraftwerk. I'm not familiar with them. I know they're just kind of electronic band. Let's see. Okay. No heavy metal, so no. Well, if you think about it, though, Black Sabbath waited 10 years after becoming eligible and were nominated 8 times before induction. Deep Purple had to wait 22 years. If there's a group that the Hall hates most, it might be heavy metal fans, and yet this year's ballot could have been interpreted as an olive branch to the community. Judas Priest returned for the second nomination after missing out on the ballot last year. Motorhead, Thin Lizzy, Soundgarden all made the ballot for the very first time, but none of them will be going. And then Whitney Houston on before Shaka Khan. Yeah, that's a tough one. I think Shaka Khan, she's been nominated 6 times, and Rufus, but they've never been overlooked. But okay, that's interesting. All right, moving on. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. There you go. After the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2020, Jerry Nadler's trending. Oh, gosh. Oh, she named the... Oh, Nancy Pelosi. This is breaking news. Nancy Pelosi has named the managers of President Trump's impeachment trial. Here are the impeachment managers for the Democrats: Representative Adam Schiff, Representative Jerry Nadler, Zoe Lofgren, Hakeem Jeffries, Jason Crow, Val Demings, and Sylvia Garcia. Okay, so that's who they are, and here's a list of them. Adam Schiff will be the lead manager. Okay, this just, I'm going to just, if you want to see who these people are and what they do, there, it's in the chat. You can look at it yourself. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Moving on. Drew Pearson is trending. I'm not sure why. With Donnie Shell. Drew Pearson got snubbed from the Pro Football Hall of Fame again. Yeah, he was a great receiver. Truly a sad day. Drew Pearson is now the only member of the NFL 1970s all-decade first team that is not going into the Hall of Fame, and he's very disappointed, as you can see. So that's too bad, man. He was a great receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, so I don't know if he's forgotten or what. Why he's a glaring omission though. He was a star. Okay, Pat Benatar's training because she did not get in to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Happy Founders Day. I'm not going to click it. That's for Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. It is their Founders Day, so a lot of people are tweeting about that. And the only reason I know that is because my mother is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. It's a traditionally a black sorority that was I can't remember where it was started, but my mother was AKA at Fisk University in Tennessee. Larry Fitzgerald resigns with the Cardinals. Good for him. He's a local Minneapolis guy, football legend in the Twin Cities, but he's been playing for the Cardinals for quite a long time. He's a great receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. Justin Amash is trending. The former Republican who is now an independent. FreedomWorks, one of the country's most potent libertarian political groups, is distancing itself from Justin Amash. And this stat really tells the whole story. Okay, let's look at this. This is what FreedomWorks says. In his near decade of congressional service, Amash has voted against FreedomWorks' wishes only 3 times, earning a 99% lifetime score. The first was on a budget resolution in 2017. The other 2, agreeing to Article 1 of the Articles of Impeachment and agreeing on Article 2 of the Articles of Impeachment. Okay. I'm not sure why else he's trending. Sitting in his office in January 2019, Amash said he didn't realize how good he had it under Bonner. Is there any better time to have a president who might not be from either party? I talked to Justin Amash about his decision to leave the GOP, how he looks back on his time as a Republican, and whether he or not he's running for president. Is he what? Please tell me he's not running for president. Justin Amash has a decision to make. What is his decision he needs to make? Oh, good God. Is he thinking about running for president? Oh my God, get the fuck out of here. All right, I'm not reading this article too. I'll put this article in the chat. If you want to torture yourself, please knock yourself out. All right, moving on. Why is he trending though? I haven't figured it out. Glad that Pelosi didn't fall for the make Amash an impeachment manager. Justin Amash was FreedomWorks' golden boy for years. Now, okay. Okay. They're not going to put... Oh, maybe they're putting... Okay, I don't know what this is. Let's see. I think it's all because of this article asking if there's a better time to have a person not in either party in of going for president. I'm not sad that Amish is not an impeachment manager. Based on my general theory that people who figured out Republicans were racist before Donald Trump was elected get pride of place over people who figured out after. Oh my God. Oh, apparently they were thinking about making him an impeachment manager. I love the addition of Hakeem Jeffries. He's a star in the making, and I'm not only saying that because he's my district representative. Also would have liked if Justin Amish was included, but I'm okay with this group of people. So people are talking about it because they thought maybe he should have been an impeachment manager. Whatever. Who gives a shit? Moving on, Harold Carmichael elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Good for him. He's also a legendary quarterback, I think, for the Philadelphia Eagles. I can't remember. He was a hell of a player, though. Former wide receiver. I'm sorry. Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver was voted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame as part of the NFL Centennial class. He is the organization's all-time leader in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. I don't know why I said quarterback. I knew he was. Art Modell looks like he's going to be. Oh, no, there's people saying fuck. The first one is fuck Art Modell. Let's get a fuck Art Modell chain going. I'll start fuck Art Modell. Art Modell will not enter the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2020 per source. Okay. I think Art Modell, wasn't he he was the owner of the Cleveland Browns, and he's the one who moved them to Baltimore. So I would have to say that Cleveland fans are not happy. Bobby Petrino is the new head coach at Missouri State. That's trending. Eves is K-pop. Skip. CNN is garbage is still trending. I'm sure there's some funny ones now. Let's see. CNN moderator faces criticism for question to Sanders on Warren dispute. And then Benny shows the same question. I want someone to say something funny about CNN is trash, though. Bernie went to Elizabeth Warren in 2015 and said, I think you can win. I think you should run. Everyone knows Sanders has been a feminist for decades. To claim otherwise is gaslighting. Americans no longer tolerate narcissistic gaslighting. CNN is garbage. Ooh, Sean King says something. Watch this, all of it, just 90 seconds, but it destroys what CNN and Elizabeth Warren pulled on Bernie Sanders last night. Let's hear what Morning Joe has to say. As if I really care, but it's only a minute long. Let's check it out.
I do want to be clear here. You're saying that you never told Senator Warren that a woman could not win the election.
That is correct.
Senator Warren, what did you think when Senator Sanders told you a woman could not win the election?
I am completely confused as to why it turned from Bernie Sanders saying I didn't say it to Elizabeth Warren being asked, what did you think?
Wait a minute. Did you see the look on Mika's face? So look at her face when they cut back to her.
Senator Warren, what did you think when Senator Sanders told
Mika's
you a woman
face.
could not win the election?
Look at her face. Oh my God, look at her face. Oh my God, is that a what the fuck face or not? I love it.
I am completely confused as to why it turned from Bernie Sanders saying I didn't say it to Elizabeth Warren being asked, what did you think when he said it?
Because this
he says
is
he didn't
CNN.
say it. So you turn to Elizabeth Warren and
say,
say,
they're establishment flunkies.
That's the issue.
That was bizarre.
I mean,
the DNC doesn't want Bernie Sanders.
Are they listening? Because you got to listen when you do a debate.
Yeah.
And then take the question to the next candidate.
You just missed.
It was a miss. Yeah.
You were waiting to go.
But this is the story.
It was a miss.
By the way, I've had private conversations taken to the press and totally manipulated for the benefit of the person who was sharing the story.
Oh, you mean like everyone on NBC does? How about them Covington kids? Okay, enough of this shit. Oh, let's go on. Finally, finishing out Wednesday motivation and 6 years of spinning with GOT7. That's K-pop. Skip. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have got to go, but let's see. I got one more notification here. Becky Farley, thank you, my dear, for tweeting out the show along with all the other people. Chi-Town Jay also. threw one out there. I appreciate that. If you like what we do here, do some things that you can help us out with. One is sharing the show whenever you come by. Hit the show, retweet on Twitter, whatever you all do. Hit the share button. You can do that. You get a bunch of choices of where you can send stuff. It helps us grow. You know what? Over the last since I had Hard Bastard on, we've had 46 new subscribers. That is awesome. Also, just a programming note, in 2 days, Friday the 17th, we're going to do a 1-year anniversary show. Now that I know that it is the anniversary of the show, thanks to Cynical Lindsay again for reminding me to check that out. Technically, it was yesterday, but we're going to do a special anniversary show where I'm just going to send out a whole bunch of invites to some of the people who have been influential as far as me streaming, or people who I've been guests on their shows, or people who've been guests on this show. And we're just going to, whoever shows up, great. We're just going to have some fun, talk about what people want to talk about. It'll be one of those just shoot the shit shows. It'll be a lot of fun. So anyway, we're here normally Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. GMT, for those people in other parts of the world, like my friend Richo down under. And, you know, I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you. Some of you have been here from the very beginning. I think the first person ever to show up and chat here, he's not here today, but he's here quite a bit, was Johnny Hellcat. So that was my very, very first person in the chat. Him and Hate Camel were both in the chat the first day that I actually did an official stream. And some of you have been here since real early. Some of you are new. I appreciate all of you. If you are one of the new people here today, make sure that you are subscribed. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. Also, we do super chats through Streamlabs. That's in the link down below, and it shows up in the chat periodically. That's it for today, folks. I cannot thank you enough for being here. I gotta go. My name's PDawg Knight. And I'm out of here. Have a fantastic Wednesday. Bye. Hey, this is PDawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawg Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawg Knight, and I'm out of here.